My ARP looks at the ecosystems of coral reefs and how coral bleaching differs depending on the health of those ecosystems. What is coral? Coral is a clonal organism found just about everywhere on the planet. There are 3 different types of coral: hard, soft, and anemones. Corals live in water as shallow as tide pools to within deep abysses. The corals I will be talking about in this presentation are found from about 1 to 150 feet. These corals are composed of the coral polyp, skeleton, and algae called zooxanthellae. These zooxanthellae are what provide the coral with 90% of their energy and what are lost when the coral bleaches. Corals can only live within a certain temperature range, especially those found in tropical waters. According to NOAA, corals most comfortably live within 73 to 84 degrees Fahrenheit. As the global temperatures continue to rise, the temperatures in the water are rising at a much higher rate. 93% of the heat caused by global warming is absorbed by the oceans. When the water temperatures rise above what the corals can tolerate, they expel their zooxanthellae. Zooxanthellae not only provide the majority of the coral's energy, but also their vibrant colors. When they are expelled, the colors are left with clear polyps that expose the white calcium carbonate skeleton that they grow on. If the water temperatures do not return to sustainable levels, the corals die. You may be wondering, why does it matter if corals bleach and die? Well, they provide homes for 1/4 of all known marine life. The Great Barrier Reef alone is home to more than 1,500 species of fish, 4,000 species of mollusk, and 200 different species of bird. Not only are there thousands of different species, but they range in size from whale sharks, the biggest fish on Earth, to organisms no longer than your pinky toe. But human impact on coral reefs has severely damaged these ecosystems, and one of the largest killers of these ecosystems is overfishing. Overfishing has not only devastated coral reefs, but the ocean as a whole. Many fishing techniques used by commercial fishermen have large amounts of bycatch and often result in the destruction of coral reefs. The method that has damaged coral reefs more than any other is the dragging of fishing nets. When nets are dragged along coral reefs, the corals are caught and ripped up from the seabed, and even if the coral is put back in the water, it is unlikely that they will survive for much longer. Due to overfishing, healthy coral reef ecosystems are very rare and are only found in remote parts of the world. And as rare as those healthy reefs are, coral reefs with pristine ecosystems are limited to an estimated 2 or 3 in the entire world. Pristine reefs are coral reef ecosystems that have a biomass around 80% top predators. These top predators include sharks, crocodiles, and monk seals. These ecosystems are untouched by fishermen. There is absolutely no human influence on the ecosystem, and it provides a window back into time to what all coral reefs would have looked like tens of thousands of years ago. One of the problems that both pristine reefs and healthy coral reefs around the world face is a lack of protection. I started off this project looking at ways for coral to be introduced around the world, but then when I began looking into the ecosystems that surround coral reefs, I learned that it would be much more beneficial to educate people on the topic. That's exactly what I did. Over the past 3 months, I've been developing 3 animations, and each one shows 3 different health levels of a coral reef: a pristine reef, a healthy reef, and an unhealthy reef. I chose to educate through animation because they are universally understood. The pristine animation shows what coral reefs would look like if humans had never interacted with them, and thereafter we see what a healthy reef looks like, even though it has been impacted by humans. One of the turtles leaves a reef along with one of the seals. In turn, in search of larger prey, the largest of the sharks leaves. Not only do those predatory animals leave, but so do the larger filter-feeding manta rays, in search of waters filled with more plankton and coral spawns. Next, we see the change from a healthy reef to an unhealthy reef. The last of the seals leaves, and in turn, the larger sharks follow, leaving behind only smaller reef sharks. This is sadly the most common type of reef. Due to overfishing and destructive fishing techniques, most reefs near populated areas of any kind have had their once flourishing ecosystems destroyed, including in the Caribbean, the extinction of the native Caribbean monk seal due to hunting. Finally, what changes can you make to help coral reefs around the world? The most important for the protection of ecosystems is eating sustainably. Know where your fish is caught, and better yet, how it was caught. Though many fishing techniques are unsustainable and can destroy ecosystems when overexploited, there are many ways fish can be caught sustainably, including spearfishing and many other selective methods. As well, though it may not seem like an actual problem, Sunscreen is a problem that coral reefs suffer from around the world, especially in tourist areas. Reef-safe sunscreens are very easy to come by, the best being zinc-based products that are more sun protective and reef-safe. Finally, the best way that we can protect reefs around the world is by reducing our carbon emissions. It is global climate change that is affecting coral reefs more than anything. By making conscious decisions to reduce your carbon footprint, you can protect reefs for all future generations.